Well, hello. Hi. If you're new to the channel, hey, welcome. Hope you decide to stay for a while. Hit subscribe. It's free. I always say that. You get to see the old lady with the baby. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back and continue to walk this journey with us. Guess what? Another video so close to the other one that you guys just got. So this is finally the video about how we feel about doing an anonymous egg donation, y'all. Whew. When I tell you, it is a lot of mixed emotions. What do you think? Yes?
It's a lot.
It is a lot of mixed emotions. One, you know absolutely nothing. When I tell you we know absolutely nothing about this little peanut I'm carrying, we know nothing. I'm going to show you right now the paper that I received on the embryos. Now, the mixed race embryos that we were originally supposed to get, we had more information on those. The reason we were looking for biracial embryos, as you see, it runs through the family. I may not look it, but I am biracial also. So we just figured it would fit in with the family and fit in with everything and work. And unfortunately, as you guys know, if you did watch the video for the day that we did do the transfer, those eggs supposedly did not thaw properly. So I was given about 3 minutes, I guess it was.
Not even that.
Yeah, to make up my mind if we wanted to go on with a next donor batch or just wait until something else comes along. We were already up in New Jersey. We had driven up from North Carolina. You know, we had already invested so much money. We had already invested so much time. So it was a smart thing to do to just go ahead with the next donor batch, which was the original donor batch we were going to go with until they came up with the biracial embryos. And when they came up with the biracial embryos, that's when we switched donor batches to begin with. But before we even go into what I was giving information-wise as far as the embryos go, I am going to discuss what I paid. So this is the sheet that was sent to me. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but this is the sheet that was sent to me as far as all my fees. I don't know, y'all. It's crazy. All the fees that I paid. I'm going to take a picture of it, and it's going to be at the end, too, for my whole transfer. Now, the fee on this paper says $5,400. My actual fee was $4,600 because I didn't have to pay the $800 for the blood work and ultrasound package because I did that locally. So my insurance covered my ultrasound and blood work for the most part because I did just get a bill for that, y'all. So even though we do have Blue Cross Blue Shield and we thought all of our blood work and monitoring was covered, just got an $1,100 bill. Yeah. Just got like an $1,100 bill in the mail about 3 days. What was today? Wednesday. Yeah, 3 days ago, Monday. For the blood work and for blood works extra, they figured, and ultrasound. So it ended up being more money than the $800 package they had, but I was not there. So hence I use my own private doctor for that. So, so basically if you want to do $4,600 plus my medications. Now my insurance did cover a healthy chunk of the medications. So really out of pocket for medications, I might have paid $200. Maybe. It was not a lot. So I got the majority of my medications covered through Blue Cross Blue Shield. So they were covered. So total to get baby implanted at that time was about $5,000, $4,800, somewhere like that. So we'll just round it up to $5,000, which is not bad because, some program, and I've got 2 embryos. So that is really not bad for what I did receive. I just feel like I just wasn't given enough information. I think that's where we really are having the biggest issue and why I've been getting so much testing and things, because we really did not get a lot of information on Peanut. Nothing. So I'm about to show you. This is what was emailed to me, and I just pulled these both out of my email from the clinic when they emailed me the information. This is what I had to choose. What embryos I wanted. I don't know if you can see. You see this one little page? One little page. Closer. All right. There you go. One little page. That's it. Now on this page, it tells me the race. Well, it tells me the donor number. There was 4 donor numbers. It tells me the race. There was 1 biracial group and 3 African-American group. It tells me the ages of females. The ages ranged from 21 to 39. And it tells me the number of embryos. The biracial group that I originally wanted had 2 embryos. All the rest have, 2 of the groups had 3 embryos, and 1 of the group had 5 embryos. It tells me the stage of the embryos, and it just tells me if baby was delivered from them or not, and what year the embryos were frozen. Now, when I did get this, and we originally went with the biracial embryos, I asked for more information because this doesn't tell me anything. So on the biracial embryos, when I did ask for more information, they told me the mom was Italian, the father was African American. We did find out what they did for a living, and that twins were delivered from the pregnancy. And they also gave me blood type. That's it. That's it. No clue what they look like. No clue of anything else. So that morning when we went in there, we had to go back and choose another embryo group, which we want with the next one down from this group. So the original group was the biracial group. The second group that we went with literally was the next group down. This was the original biracial right there. And we ended up going with this one. So, and we could have went with the 21-year-old donor, but here was the thing with 21-year-old donor. All the embryos in that, it was 3, were only at the 2PN stage. So we didn't even know how many cells they were going to be. We didn't even know if they were going to be viable. But from that cycle, they did deliver a baby boy, and that was in 2009. So, frozen in 2009, delivered a son in 2009, and all 2PN. That kind of scared me because they were already 11 years old, and we didn't know what the cells stage was going to be if they thawed them out and let them grow. The next one was that were African American. The mother was 39. There was 5 embryos that we could have had. They were 4 to 8 cell. They were fair to good, but they never used them. So no viable pregnancy came from those. They canceled the cycle and they've never used the embryos. Also frozen in 2009. So we chose not to go with that one either, just because they never used them. Could be fair to good, could have been great. We just didn't know. And, this was like a one-shot deal for us, kind of. Like, people just don't have $5,000, $10,000 laying around to do this. It was literally a do or die, and I'm at my age. So it was like, what do we do? So we went with the 26-year-old. Now, she was a donor, which we found odd and very interesting because, as you know, she was going to be a donor. She was going to donate to the clinic because they were looking for African-American donors. She went through all her blood work. She did all this. They asked for a whole bunch of pictures. We sent about, 25, 30 pictures? I mean, she did everything. We paid about $600 for all the blood work on our end. So we did have to pay for all the testing and stuff because, like I said, we were going to do reciprocal. Lord, y'all, look at my head. We were going to do reciprocal IVF, which means, once she was a donor and her eggs, we got the other half of the eggs and we could, use them. Because of the pandemic, that slowed a lot of things down. That slowed a lot of people wanting to do this right now. So she never had anybody pick her. Now, what I found interesting was they asked us for so much information for her. Mm-hmm. So many pictures, so much this, so much that. I mean, they asked, they basically want to know what color her drawers were the day she got the blood pulled. I mean, they wanted to know everything. And I felt like for this to have been a donor cycle, so she was a donor and they used the husband's sperm for the MBB that I'm carrying right now. She was 26 years old. The husband was 56, people. So he was older, which made us concerned too, because I don't know if you know, but men over 50 do have a higher rate of producing children with dwarfism. So that is one of the reasons that I've had a lot of the testing that I've had done. So yes, she was younger, and that made the chances for downs a lot less. But the father in his donor group was older, which made the chances for dwarfism higher. So we were fighting an uphill battle on literally on these embryos, not knowing anything. And I feel like with them using a donor for this embryo, we should at least got a picture. The people who used her got a picture. Even though these were anonymous donations, she's an anonymous donor. So why wouldn't we at least get a childhood picture? Something, because she is a donor. So hence, it wasn't the family or the actual person who produced, who paid for the cycle. There was a couple who did it, and they used her as a donor. So I would have assumed we would have at least gotten some, information on the donor. The only information I have on the donor is she's 26. We know absolutely nothing else. So we did ask that morning when we did do the cycle, because we were only given a couple minutes to make up our mind. Well, can we get a little bit more information? So this is what we got. She's a high school graduate, and I think he works in a bank or something.
Was he a correctional officer?
No, not that one. He wasn't the correctional officer. Biracial ones was the correctional officer. And that's why the biracial ones kind of resonated with us, because the mother for the biracial ones was in management, hence me. The father for the biracial one was in corrections, hence her. So that was another reason that the biracial ones kind of resonated with us. This one, like I said, the mother, she just has a high school diploma. And the father, he's in, I don't know, something. Can't even remember, because it was that day was kind of a fog.
It was emotional.
Very emotional. Super emotional. If you've seen that video of that day when I'm sitting in the car, I was just distraught, y'all. We had planned so much for this. We had everything, figured out in our mind, and literally pulling in front of the place like, oh, well, we can't use those. Huh? And you've got so much time and money. And when I even explained the money was paid out to them the day before. And then driving up there, hotel expenses, gas expenses, food expenses. Who turns away after all that? Now, if it was up the street, if the clinic was up the street, we may have said, we'll wait. But then we have to look at other factors. I was 47 years old. The opportunities here, the money is paid. These were the original embryos we were going to choose anyway. But it still stung a little bit because we had wrapped our whole emotions around the other embryos. And it's crazy because they were actually the better out of all that we had. They were 8 and 10 celled. Okay. The grade was good to excellent. And twins were delivered from those embryos in 2017. That's the day, or that's the year they were actually frozen also. So it kind of struck us odd that neither embryo survived the thaw, or they survived, but they said they looked bad. We don't know. We didn't see them. We're not an embryologist. But then for the ones that turn around, now, don't get me wrong, we definitely believe Peanut was meant to be here. He is a fighter. He is strong. He has survived. He has gone into this crazy lady. He's kicking me right now. So, I mean, definitely, I believe he was truly meant to be here. But it was just an emotional, it's still emotional. And it's going to be emotional until he get here, because we have so many unknowns. And it's sad because, yeah, they have 23andMe, they have all these ancestry sites, they have this, they have that. But then my thing is, well, if the people want to be anonymous, and I hear this all the time, well, you could just put his stuff in there. But if the people want to be anonymous, that means they don't want to be found. Period. So am I breaching some kind of confidentiality by putting my son's DNA in there? Know where it's at. They know where they're at. If they donate it out of good faith, saying I'm going to give somebody else an opportunity to become a parent, but I don't want to be found. So am I breaking their trust because I'm pregnant because of them. So it's like I'm feeling like I have a double-edged sword here because we have no information on Peanut. We don't even know what the parents' blood type was. I think, I did ask that morning, but like I said, it was so emotional and everything was such a blur. We were just like, okay.
The way I look at it, once he's born, we'll figure out all that stuff.
Right.
All
Of course we'll know.
Will be answered with the majority of it.
Right.
So.
We still won't know anything for him. So it's kind of sad because we won't be able to tell him anything, but like his mother was 26, or his egg donor, because I'm going to be his mother. But his egg donor was 26, which makes her 32 this year from when they were frozen. So, yeah. I mean, yeah. So really limited information. And the sad part is we really would have loved to have matched privately. Loved to have matched privately. Still would love to match privately for the simple fact we would love to give this little boy a sibling. And AA embryos and biracial embryos are one of the hardest embryos to come by because people who look like us don't do this procedure that often. It is expensive and it is time consuming and it is an emotional battle, and most people who look like us can only afford it one time. And most of the time when they can afford it that one time, unless they have good insurance, go Starbucks, go Amazon, places that pay for it. Unless you have good insurance, you're not going to pay for this. You can't. It's expensive. You're like, baby or mortgage, baby or car payment, baby or move. Like, we literally had to relocate. We really literally had to pick up and relocate from family and friends to go somewhere cheaper so that we could afford to even do this procedure. Because where we were at was taking all our money. So you do definitely have to make some sacrifices, and sometimes you just cannot make those sacrifices. So to make all these sacrifices, to get to this point that we get to, and not know anything. Not know anything. Now I notice he's strong. He's a good kicker. I know he's loved. But would I really have loved to have matched privately? Yeah, we would have. Just so we would have had, known if he, well, we know he does have siblings. From this same group, a set of twins was delivered in 2015. So he does have siblings. Of course, we don't know where they're at, but he does have siblings. But it would have been nice. It would have been nice to be like, when he's 18, okay, if this, or even if they wanted to reach out before then, people are curious. That was a baby born from my embryos? Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Anything, just to give some information. And if somebody would have chose us, no, we're not the best candidates. I'm 47. We're lesbians, but we're going to be amazing parents. So I don't think the demographics of it should matter. We're going to be amazing parents. Like, that part doesn't scare me. We're ready for that. We've changed our whole life up for that. So he's coming in like 10 weeks. There's no doubt. He's going to be here. No doubt he's going to be here. But, I'm scared for him. I'm really scared for him. I'm really scared for him, just for the not knowing. We're just stay prayed up for him. And I don't know. What's your thoughts on it? You're being very quiet.
I mean, you said busy everything.
I know I talk too much, y'all. I'll never let her get a word.
We'll see how I feel, how she feels.
Yeah, just it's I don't know. Oh, y'all, just not to break away. Look what my wifey got me. I'm gonna have to take a picture of it later, but it's the double heart necklace pendant. So it's the big mommy heart and it's the baby heart. And she got it for me. So it was my first mommy gift. So she gave me my very first mommy gift. I thought that was just so they're doing work out here. Y'all see, we keep looking out the windows because they're doing work out here, though. We get new utility poles out here. So hopefully they don't crash into the building. But it's so beautiful. It's going to be 75 degrees here today. So, excuse me. So all the workmen are out here getting jobs and things done. So you know, a lot of activity going on. But anyway, we're grateful. We're thankful for Peanut. We're thankful that it worked on the first try. We're thankful that we had the opportunity to do this. We're thankful for the opportunity to do this. We're even thankful, like I said, we're thankful that he's coming. We're just scared. Not gonna lie. Not having any history, not having anything does scare us.
He's gonna be.
I know. But you know my fears. Like, she knows my fears. I definitely, we talk. She knows my fears. I just want this to be a healthy, happy little boy that grows up to do amazing things and doesn't always question why. He's already gonna have something. He got 2 mamas. So he's already got something to have to explain. But I mean, that's commonplace now. So that is not my fear. He's gonna be super loved. I mean, 2 mamas. 2 strong women with 2 strong backbones that's gonna make sure he get everything that he wants. So that part.
You got 2 siblings. They got fur.
Oh yeah, I forgot the fur babies. And that's another reason I really want to give him a sibling, just so he doesn't feel alone. Just as he doesn't feel like he's walking this journey alone. Just as he doesn't feel just left out. You know, if he has somebody with the same story as him, under the same roof as him, you know, I think he'd be better to relate. Because he has somebody else, he won't feel like he's alone. And I really want him to know he's not alone. There's tons and tons of kids out here in the last 20 years that have been born this way. Almost. Embryo has been out since the mid-90s, late 90s. So 20 plus years, 25 years. So I just want him to know there's other people out there that's like him. But just to have somebody under the same roof would be amazing. To have a sibling that they have the same story. So they can go through the same things together. They can have each other's back. I think that'd be amazing. So hopefully, you know, we still got 10 weeks to go on this Peanut, but boy, girl, at this point, I don't even know if I want tested embryos. I just want another healthy baby. I love this pregnancy so much. I really did, y'all. Like, this pregnancy has been amazing, especially at my age. I was not expecting this pregnancy to go so well. Y'all, I could spit this one out and get pregnant the next time. Like, literally, I can literally deliver this baby and be pregnant the next day and be okay with it. And be absolutely okay with it. Like, this pregnancy has truly been a dream. Because I had myself hyped up so much for all the negatives that could go wrong, for everything. And so far, it's been cake compared. Not saying everything's been perfect, but it's been really good. And I would truly do this again. If the opportunity presents itself, I would definitely do this again. So do I have any regrets for doing it? No. Not at all. I only have a little not animosity. I'm a little anxious. Sorry, about the outcome. And what comes out, we don't know. We just know he's going to be healthy. We just know he's going to be happy. We just know he's going to be loved. And, I mean, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I mean, you never know what you're going to get. Everything in life is a crapshoot. Like I said, I just wish we had a little bit more information. But, like I said, as long as he's loved and he's happy, he's well adjusted, that's all that matters. Hopefully, we can give him a sibling. Hint to anybody out there that got some embryos they want to donate. We'll take them. But no, we really will try to do this again. So this time next year, I may be pregnant again. I'm going to try to do it 6 to 9 months after Peanut is born, if we decide to do it again. It all depends on this birthing. Now, that's the next big thing. How that goes. But otherwise, if you guys have any questions besides what I did not answer on this, please feel free to say them below. We will answer them. For the most part, I think we kind of answered everything. But doing an anonymous egg donation can be difficult, especially because we have no information. But We're happy to be pregnant. Healthy pregnancy, healthy little boy. So no regrets. Like I said, none whatsoever. So, like I said, if you have any questions or anything for us, please feel free to ask. I will answer any questions that you may have. So you guys have a great rest of your day. You got a nice long video today. Oh, now we're gonna go feed Peanut. Well, she hungry too. So excuse me, I guess it's lunchtime, y'all. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.